Hey, I think I'm online. It's being a little slow. Well, hello. Um, it's been a little crazy. I didn't live stream yesterday, and I didn't live stream this morning. I've been in back to back to back meetings with a variety of people. Since our contract is winding down, I've just had a lot of meetings. So sorry, wasn't online yesterday, and I am kind of late. What is it? I have the time on the laptop. It's like almost 1 o'clock, but I also kind of wanted to just mess around with, going live in different times, see what seems to work best. So this is kind of an experiment. So if you're new here, I'm Anna with Anna Travels. I am a travel agent. I love traveling. And I wanted to do a live stream just talking about travel news around the world. Sometimes these one might be a little bit targeted live streams. I might do a little bit more targeted live stream, or I might do IRL streaming. We're going to be in Norway next week, so follow. I had a new follower, but it didn't really tell me who it is or when they followed, so thank you for the follow if you are that person. I'm sorry, like, Twitch didn't really tell me who you were. So I'm hoping it's working on Twitch. Okay, it's working on Twitch. Okay. So yeah, I got some news articles. I wanted to, the Washington D.C. plane crash has been, like still a big thing in the news. Thankfully, they've recovered all of the bodies, and so the families can mourn. There's like meal trains. If I remember, I'll put like there's a few like I hate donations. Like, I mean, I don't hate donations, but it's like I always feel like, is this really going to the families? Like, I always get nervous because, like, I remember a friend said that like she knew someone that was going through like an issue, like a tough time. I'm not really sure. I can't remember what it was, and she said like someone just started a GoFundMe based on her issue, but she wasn't getting the money. So I think they took it down and everything. But like you hear stories about that, like people will just start GoFundMe's, but it's really not benefiting the person that needs the beneficiary or needs the support. But I do know that they have because I'm in the DC area. They started some meal trains or some other fundraisers. So if I remember, I'll post the link. So if you wanted to donate, I was planning to donate. I don't have much, but I figure, just give some to support the families. Preliminary reports, they said the helicopter was 100 feet too high. I guess they do have their normal like zone where they're allowed to fly in the area, and they said the helicopter pilot might have been 100 feet too high, and the plane actually did correct, but it was just too little too late. So unfortunately, what happened. So yeah, that's still going to continue. And I do have like 1 or 2 articles about safety, plane safety. So I'll just go ahead and share the report. This is from Euronews. I've been like trying to like experiment with different news websites, and Euronews seem to have a lot of interesting stories posted. So, is flying still the safest form of transportation? We've had a recent slew of accidents, like the Korean, I forgot what airline that one was, before the new year, the American Airlines, the medical plane in Philly. And is it still safe? And fatal crashes on American commercial airlines are rare. So, and I mean, honestly, I've heard this consistently. They say that you have more chances of dying in a car crash than in an airplane crash. I think what makes people the most afraid of airplane flights is that you have no control. When you're in a car, you have a semblance of control. you're driving the car, and I mean, it's dependent on the other drivers too. But I think that element of having your hands on the steering wheel, I think gives people just a little bit more sense of security when it comes to driving. But when you're on an airplane, you have no control. The pilot is in control. So, I mean, the deadliest plane crash in US history is September 11th, of course. And the last fatal crash of a passenger plane in the US was in 2008, where 49 passengers and crew were killed in Buffalo, New York. And that crashed into a house. But so far, 2024 was the deadliest year for air travel. And I think this is just stating around the world, not just the US. I mean, the Azerbaijan airplane in Kazakhstan, the Jeju airplane. So, I mean, those two events kind of rocketed 2024 in a very deadly month. But for the most part, though, airplane travel is still pretty safe. And so, yeah, I mean, if you have plans to go vacation, I would not change your plans. I mean, there's always people that are afraid, and I would just suggest. I know it's hard because it's hard for me to tell someone just get on a plane because I have no fear of planes. Not to say that I don't ever have a healthy fear. Like, I forgot what flight I was on last year. But there was a time where I picked up the phone and I was like, OMG to my best friend. I'm like, it was pretty crazy. It was just like a lot of turbulence, and I never felt that much turbulence. I think we were flying out. I don't think it was Vegas. Was it Houston? I can't remember. But I know there's times where, you just, especially really bad turbulence, you think you're just going to die. But usually most turbulence is, the planes usually can do with it. But so yeah. So yes, you can die on an airplane, but I mean you can die in a car. But for the most part, most airline aviation has a pretty safe record. It's just lately it's been a little scary. So yeah, but this next article from Euronews is talking about safest European airlines. So this is not going to encompass any of the American airlines. So just want to kind of keep an eye on the chat group. So yeah, so scared of flying, these airlines have been ranked the safest in Europe for 2025. So the world's safest airline is Air New Zealand for the second year in a row. And then it doesn't give me like the full ranking, like 1 through whatever. But so Turkish airline is also very safe, and it seems like well, I guess Turkish is pretty. I've never flown Turkish. I've heard really good things about it. But they have not had a fatal accident since 2009. Last year, they won awards for catering and in-flight entertainment and received world-class ratings from Air Passenger Experience Association. And it was voted the best airline in Europe. Portugal snagged 4th place, making it the second safest airline in Europe. They have not lost a passenger since 1977. And they regularly run fear of flying courses in partnership with, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that Portuguese organization, but UCS. And then SAS 16th, British 17th, Iberia 18th, Finnair 19th, Lufthansa Group, and Swiss 20th. But they don't really give you who is like 1 through like whatever, the full list. But anyways, so the safest low-cost airline is Ryanair, which I actually have another article on them, so we'll talk about them a little bit more later. They claimed 3rd place in global ranking, and is the safest budget air in Europe. So that's good. 40-year history, never had a fatal accident. And then closely behind them was EasyJet, which I'm not familiar with that, but it's a UK headquartered airline. They came in fourth, making it the second safest European low-cost airline, and they haven't had a fatal accident in 30 years of operation. Oh, it hasn't mentioned any American airlines. I mean, this is more of a European-based news company, so that's probably why. I wonder if I can find the full article of the world's safest airlines. Let's see, airline ratings. Let me see if I can pull up the full article. Ah, here it is. Top safest airlines for 2024. Oh wait, was that article of 2025? Oh, I mean, we just started 2025, so it makes sense. All right, so why can't they just list it? Why do I have to search for the news? Okay, top 25 safest airlines in 2024. Air New Zealand, Qantas, Virgin Australia, Etihad Airways, Qatar Airways. Let me just move the article. Qatar, Emirates, All Nippon Airway or ANA, Finnair, Cathay Pacific Airways, Alaskan, SAS, Korean Air, Singapore Air, Eva, or is it EVA Air, British Air, Turkish, TAP Air Portugal, Lufthansa Swiss Group, KLM Japan, Hawaiian, American, Air France, Air Canada, and United. So we've towards the end of the list. I mean, I know this is not the full, there's many more, but that's your top 25. And the American Airlines didn't come until like 20th. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hawaiian Air, 20th. So those are your top safest airlines of 2024. And they said it was like really close between Air New Zealand and Qantas. I've never heard of Qantas personally. But apparently they are having the biggest fleet renewal in history with huge orders for the A20. They have a huge order of airplanes. So there you go. There's your list to continue off of that article. I know I mentioned Ryanair, so we'll talk about Ryanair. So Ryanair says, and this is Danish news, and if my friend Morton is watching, hi Morton. I guess the Danish regional airports are increasing a tax, and so Ryanair is axing all flights to and from Aalborg Airport in Denmark by the end of March. So the country will lose 1.7 million seats and 32 routes for the summer. And it will close its base at Billund, another destination in Denmark, where it has 2 aircraft. Billund is a home of Legoland, so can't fly Ryanair to Legoland anymore in Denmark. So they introduced an aviation tax, and they said this tax was pretty weird. And it's a passenger tax for travelers in addition to the other tax. And there are so many taxes on these flights. I mean, I don't know what how your taxes in Europe are, but I know in America, we pay so many taxes, taxes for that, taxes for this. So it does make flying expensive. More taxes. It's getting expensive to travel. It really is. And other airplane. It's like a lot of airplane news. Dubai is welcoming more tourists than ever. It is the world's busiest airport. It seems like it's starting, like we talked about over tourism before, and it does seem to be impacting a lot of countries, and so Dubai is no exception to the rule, and their airport was the busiest in 2024. I've I've like, I mean, I had, I'm not unwilling to travel to Dubai, but it's never been like, oh, I must go to Dubai, It'd be cool. I'm not gonna ever say I will never go. In 10 years, they do plan to move operation to the city's second airport after a $35 billion upgrade. Whew, that's a lot of money. Al Maktoum International Airport is roughly 45 kilometers away from DXB. It has one terminal, so I guess they're just going to expand that one to kind of deal with the tourism boom. So if you're heading to Dubai, that might be a thing to consider. There's a lot of tourism. Digital nomading. So I know that's like something that would be cool to do. I mean, I'm not going to do it. I have a kid. It's kind of hard. I mean, I know there are digital nomads that have kids, but I'd like for my child to have a little bit more stable life. So New Zealand is getting a little easier, or, well, they have new visitor visa rules. So they're relaxing the rules around visas to allow tourists to come to visit while working within the country. So they are allowed to work remotely for a foreign employer under the country's new digital nomad initiative. So if you're looking to live the digital nomad life in New Zealand, sorry how I said that. New Zealand might be an option. Again, I mean, I can't say never, but it'd be cool. I mean, I don't know much about New Zealand besides that's where Lord of the Rings and hobbits are, and the Maori people who are amazing, and but I don't really know much about the country overall. How, like, because I know Bali is a big country to go to because it's so inexpensive. Like Bali, Thailand, are really popular for those reasons because of the cost. So if the cost is reasonable in New Zealand, which I've never researched it, so I don't know, and you want to live a digital nomad life, New Zealand has made it easier for you. I think like Japan, you can live there up to a year on, like, I don't know if they call it a digital nomad, but I think one YouTuber I follow, Mudan, he was there for a year. I think he's actually leaving Japan now. So yeah. How long have I been? I kind of have to watch my time today because I have to go back to work. Oh, but this is a good lunch break talking to y'all. U.S. has updated the travel warning for Mexico for spring break. Not like in locations that I've never really heard of. Cities of including Reynosa, Rio Bravo, Valle Hermosa, and San Fernando. Some popular beach destinations with spring breakers. There's just been a lot of gun activity. I mean, I would definitely travel to like Cancun. I love Cancun. And actually, if everything goes according to plan, I will be in Cancun in August with my friend for her 40th, or I shouldn't have said that, for her milestone birthday. So that'd be exciting. Local news, it's not like local, but in Richmond, Virginia, we have our own, oh shoot, what was the pygmy hippo in Thailand? Or is it Singapore? I think it's Thailand. What's the hippo? Oh, I forgot what the pygmy hippo, Mudang became super popular because, like, she's adorable. But in Richmond, Virginia, at the Virginia Zoo, Metro Richmond Zoo, we actually have our very own little Mudang. I don't think they've named it yet. They just keep calling it Mom and Calf. So I don't think they've named it yet. But So adorable. Who knew that hippos would be, the animal of 2024? But they are, especially these little pygmy hippos. They're so cute. So yeah, so if you are in the US and can't afford to go to Thailand, but a domestic flight to Virginia, you might go see your own very own little Virginia mooding. So that's so cute. I love it. So I have two more articles and then we'll wrap it up today. We'll do the slightly more negative and then we'll end on a little bit of a positive. Man wins free cruise but ends up with a 47,000 medical bill after getting the flu on board. This it doesn't oh yeah, it does name them. They won a free sailing on Norwegian Cruise Line and departed last year? When was this article written? It said earlier this year. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's a whole month into 2025. So it sailed on the 5th of January on Miami. It was supposed to be a week-long cruise. And he came down with flu. He recovered after 3 days, but he was connected to catheters and IVs and ended up with a $47,000 bill. Yeah. This is why you have health. Well, actually, he did have travel insurance. Oh, they bought from Norwegian. Yeah. As so, like, there's a huge thing. Like, we try not. Like, I don't know. I'm not an insurance agent, so do not take this is not insurance advice, but we always recommend not using like the supply because like how do I say this without like being weird? Insurance is going to always like their insurance is going to protect them more than it protects you. But when you get it from like a outside source, they will protect you more because there's no incentive to protect the company. So that's why I mean it's nice because you can wrap it all in one package. So, but this is not in travel insurance advice, but I would generally book your travel insurance not with the cruise industry. But gosh, that's so annoying. I mean, how much does IVs and like this is awful. Yeah, this is awful. I mean, I do always recommend travel insurance because it can really help you. But I'm like, gosh, 47,000. I mean, not 47. Is it 45? No, it was 47, right? $47,000 for a catheter. I mean, he was sick for 3 days. I'm like, I mean, I just had the flu, and like my husband had the flu, and but still, it's called Gatorade. But I mean, I don't know how sick he was. I'm also not a medical doctor. I don't know how sick he was, but God, that seems a little excessive. They maxed out their credit cards, him and his girlfriend, and that's just awful. But I do still recommend travel insurance if you are traveling overseas because it can help you. So, and we're gonna end with Disney news because Disney is happy. Well, I don't know if they're happy with this, but they had a decent attendance last year. They say the revenue is up for the domestic parks 2% compared to December 2023. It seems like it's like mixed news because it seems like the domestic parks didn't do as well as they hoped, but they still did okay. And Disney Cruise Line, they're really pumping a lot of money into Disney Cruise Line, which I like the Disney cruises. They're just expensive. But if you go at like off season, they like my mother-in-law, we were thinking about Thanksgiving already. And my mother's like, not Disney Cruise because it's so expensive. I was like, I know, you don't have to tell me that. I've seen the prices around the holidays, and they do jack it up. Because that's the time where people can travel and they are making money. But yeah, they really are pumping up the Disney Cruise Line. And I do feel that more people are going to Disney again. There was kind of a little bit of a lull where I felt like it was harder to book Disney, but more, I think as, you know, the world's kind of getting back to normal. I don't know, I say that, but I don't know how the federal government cuts are going to affect a lot of people in our area, which it does. Like, this at Tokyo Disney is, what about Tokyo Disney? Oh, there's increase in operating income for international park experience because people are going more overseas to go to the parks. I mean, I just went to Tokyo Disney last year and it was busy. And not just Japanese, it was a lot of tourists too. So yeah. So I mean, good for Disney. I mean, you know, if people have money and they want to feel happy, they'll go on vacation. And Disney is absolutely wonderful to go to. I mean, if you like theme parks, but I think also if you don't like theme parks, I think the Disney cruises are such a great option. And if you don't like cruises, there's Adventures by Disney, there's Ulani in Hawaii. So yeah, I mean, Disney does offer a lot for the consumer. And if you're not into theme park, there's other options. If you want to get a little Disney magic, you can. So, but anyways, guys, I think that will be it for today. I do need to go back to work. I don't actually know how long I've been streaming, so, but it seems like it's been about 30 minutes. So I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow if everything, I mean, I might actually also have a weird time to stream tomorrow, because I think I'm going out for coffee real quick with a friend, and then I have to do a lot of work. I think coffee's tomorrow. Oh, shoot. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, bye, guys.